one of the angles I've been thinking through evangelism lately has been through the lens of hospitality. So actually at our church, we have a lot of groups who, kind of community groups that meet during the week. And one of the things we're currently trying right now is actually taking 1 week where we kind of shut down the normal groups, and we're kind of training everyone in the groups to that week that we don't actually have community, that they would actually invite over a friend, someone they know, that we actually spent some time praying the week before. Who's the person that God will put on your heart? So when we think about hospitality and extending the hospitality of God, like actually creating a welcoming space to receive the life of the other, and being intentional in making that space meaningful, whether that's your home or whether that's taking someone out to coffee or whatever that is, and the act of actually listening and getting to know their lives and having some pointed questions, not so much to put them on the spot, but to really ask them deeply, getting to know some of the ways that they think about the world and understand the world. And we found, I think there's an immense hunger today where people are often isolated and lonely, or have conversations that can be very superficial and shallow. And it's really kind of strange to get invited in by someone to share some of the deepest things about your own life, your story, the way that you understand the world. And coupled with that, doing a lot of prayer, and so praying in advance, and then the following week as we regather as communities, getting to share the stories of what happened at those meals, and then to spend specific time actually praying for those people and seeing what God might do. This is actually an idea of a friend of mine, John Crawford, but he and I have been working together on this. And when we think about hospitality coupled with the power of prayer, I think often we underestimate the power of prayer when it comes to evangelism. I remember being new to the faith, and I had this one gentleman I knew. He was the father of a friend of mine, and every week it seemed like he had some new powerful conversation with someone, an evangelistic conversation, introducing them to Jesus. And I remember asking him, like, how do you do that? How do you have all these phenomenal conversations with people about Christ? And he said, it's easy, I just pray. He's like, every week I pray, God, would you bring the right person into my life? Would you show me when and where? And just being open and attentive and sensitive to the Spirit of God, both to bring those conversations and to equip him, not so much that he just has it all figured out, but he's attentive to where Jesus might be leading him through his Spirit to have those conversations. And so I think there's an immense power to prayer that we underestimate. And finally, I think too, just this, what I would call the power of one, the significance of the power of one, where sometimes I think when we think evangelism, we get, how can we reach the masses, kind of big picture. But I think that often those who will be best to reach the masses, so to speak, are those who are new to the faith. I think we see this in the story of the Samaritan woman, where Jesus in John 4 is talking to the Samaritan woman, the woman at the well, and it's just his time, his conversation, his attentiveness and attention to this one person. But then when she comes to faith, she goes back into the town and tells everyone, hey, come and see this person who knows me. Come and see the Lord. She becomes a way more effective evangelist to her community in some ways than the disciples probably would have been. And I think often I've seen that in my own story and our church as well, that often some of the most effective evangelists have been new believers, where we often think, you got to have all the equipping and all skill sets. Often it's just the freshness of coming to faith and having all the existing relationships and people who don't know you, haven't known you as a Christian. And when that transformation takes root in your life, people are drawn to it. And so I think when it comes to evangelism, that sometimes instead of looking at the masses, that we would not underestimate the power of that one person that Jesus might use us to bring to himself, and through them he may reach the masses. And so in sum, I think, those three themes have been big for me lately. The theme of hospitality, of extending the hospitality of God and welcoming in others. That theme of prayer, of really being intentional about praying for people and praying after some of those conversations take place. And finally, that theme of the power of one, of not underestimating the significance that even that one conversation could have.